कहते हैं अगर किसी चीज को दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की कोशिश में लग जाती है. This couldn't be more true for visionary filmmaker Kareemuddin Asif, more popularly known as Kiya, who struggled for a decade to put his magnum opus on screen. His epic story of how the mighty Mughal Emperor Akbar had to bow down in front of his son's love for a mere courtesan. Kiya faced obstacles at every turn, from lavishly recreating the grandeur of Mughal history to an ever-changing star cast to a rapidly enlarging budget and even punishing weather during the shoot. But when his dream project finally hit the screens in 1960, not only did it captivate audiences, but it redefined Indian filmmaking. Hello and welcome to A Century of Stories India, brought to you by IDFC FIRST Bank. Always you first. I'm your host Kunal, and today we are looking at one of the most significant and influential movies in the history of Indian cinema, Mughal-e-Azam. But what made Mughal-e-Azam so pivotal? To answer that, we need to explore not just the film, but the evolution of Indian cinema itself. Now, the film tells the epic love story of Prince Salim and the court dancer Anarkali, set against the backdrop of the Mughal Empire. But what truly sets this film apart is not just its incredible story, but the scale, ambition, and sheer artistry involved in its making. It was a mammoth project that involved thousands of extras, elaborate sets, and costumes that were nothing short of regal. The battle sequence between Akbar and Salim reportedly featured 2,000 camels, 400 horses, and 8,000 troops, mainly from the Indian Army's Jaipur cavalry. One set in particular, the Sheesh Mahal, or the Palace of Mirrors, has gone down in the history books for its sheer grandeur. It was designed with such detail. It featured mirrors made of Belgian glass and craftsmanship from Firozabad. The set took 2 years to build, and the cost 15 lakh rupees. In 1960, that was more than the budget of most films. By the end, it looked very much like the Sheesh Mahal in Lahore Fort itself. This level of painstaking attention to detail raised the bar for art direction in Indian cinema. The song Pyar, Kiya, Darna, remember, was filmed in this magnificent Sheesh Mahal, and the way it was shot effortlessly, fusing classical dance, swift camera movements, memorable acting, and the unforgettable voice of Lata Mangeshkar, remains etched in the minds of audiences to this day. Asif pushed every boundary in Indian cinema. For instance, in a time when nearly all films were still being made in black and white, he decided to shoot this famous song, this Pyar Kiya to Darna Kya, in Technicolor. This was one of the earliest instances of the use of color in Indian films. The contrast between the monochrome and the color scenes added depth and drama to the storytelling. Then there was the music. Let's spend some time on this music because the soundtrack is legendary. Music director Naushad composed the songs, and they were not just chartbusters. They were integral to the narrative. With lyrics by Shakil Badayuni and a rare performance by classical music titan Bade Ghulam Ali Sahab, the film's soundtrack became an indelible part of Indian cinema. But beyond the technical brilliance, Mughal-e-Azam was a film that resonated deeply with the Indian audience because of its story and its performances. The legendary Dilip Kumar as Prince Salim, Madhubala as Anarkali, and Prithviraj Kapoor as Emperor Akbar delivered performances so powerful and nuanced that the characters became etched in the collective memory of the nation. So much so that even today, when you read about or imagine Akbar. The face that flashes in front of your eyes is that of Prithviraj Kapoor. The film's dialogues, written by Aman, Kamal Amrohi, and Wajahat Mirza, poetic yet powerful. The LPs and cassettes of the dialogues of this film were as much a rage as the songs. They continue to be quoted to this day. More than just a film, Mughal-e-Azam touched on themes that were relevant to post-independence India. The conflict between love and duty, a clash of ideologies, and the struggle for freedom were all themes that resonated with the Indian audience. The impact of Mughal-e-Azam in Indian cinema is immeasurable. It was a film that showed the world that Indian cinema could match Hollywood in terms of scale, artistry, and technical prowess. Mughal-e-Azam inspired a generation of filmmakers to dream big, to push the boundaries of what was possible, and to create cinema that was not just entertainment, but art. Even 60 years after its release, Mughal-e-Azam continues to be celebrated as one of the greatest films ever made. There's influences of it in almost every historical film made since, from Jodha Akbar to even Ponniyin Selvan and Tanaji. Mughal-e-Azam truly marked a turning point in the history of Indian cinema. Now you tell me, who doesn't like watching their favorite film stars on a giant screen? What makes that moment even sweeter is a free movie ticket. Apply for the lifetime free First Wealth credit card by IDFC FIRST Bank today to avail the buy one get one offer on movie tickets up to rupees 250. On Paytm mobile app, this is valid twice every month. You can also follow it up with a sumptuous meal at your favorite restaurant, as the First Wealth credit card unlocks up to 20% discount at 1,500 plus restaurants. Visit idfcfirstbank.com to know more. You've been listening to A Century of Stories India, brought to you by IDFC FIRST Bank, always you first. I'm Kunal Vijaykar, and the next time I'll tell you another story of Indian innovation, excellence, and achievement. And now, IDFC FIRST Bank brings you safe banking tips. Protect yourself and your devices from malware that can lock you out of your data until you pay a ransom for it. If you get any emails with attachments, offers, and web links that look dubious, do not click. Keep yourself and your data safe.